Dumb fun.
It's just been such a it's been a crazy week for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe I was in
Well, I didn't
Arkansas.
ask you
Okay,
if
yeah.
like what
How are you?
happened. I
Yeah, how
just
are
said,
you
oh,
doing?
oh, really? And
Yeah,
then you
that's
just sort
fair.
of launched into it. Like, what am I? Your audience at a stand-up comical show?
No, I've never there's not often audiences when I do that.
Yeah, no, of course not. Okay, so I guess now that you've started to talk, how was your week? What did you do?
Thank you for asking.
Yes.
It's been crazy. I'm pretty sure I was in Arkansas last we talked, and
Mm.
but you may recognize where I am. Look around behind me. You see that bean?
Oh no.
That's right. I'm in our old stomping grounds, Letty, of Chicago,
They let you
Illinois.
in.
Yeah, well, I'm not allowed to go to the high school where we shot, as
That's
you
what I
know.
thought,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can do like 50 feet away.
Okay.
But so I've been visiting a lot of the other locations,
Yes.
the parks.
That bean wasn't there when we were shooting, though. That was a new addition, I believe, to the city. So,
Yeah,
so it's kind of disorienting to see that thing behind you. It makes me believe that you've been abducted by aliens.
no, I have not. I can assure you, I have not. Well, this week been abducted by aliens.
That would be cool if that had happened.
No,
Be
I
much
know.
more interesting than this story.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that I'm in Chicago. I think the fans will like that I'm, visiting the old locations. We shot some fun stuff here in Grant Park.
Of course. Have you been approached? Have people recognized you?
I have been approached by many police who are like, "Hey, you can't film here, or you can't be here.
You
You
can't sleep
know,
in the park.
you can't
Yeah,
sleep in the park.
that kind of
You
thing.
that kind of thing." So yeah, so in a
Mhm.
way, I am being recognized and approached by fans.
Yes.
One of them said, "Don't I know you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Yeah, I think I arrested you back in 1997
Oh,
for disorderly conduct at a rap party."
yes.
And
You weren't allowed to go to those rappers' houses, but you kept showing up at the
it was,
rap parties.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
those rap parties in 1997 didn't, it's not like when you think of it now, like a tear the club up type rap type thing.
Mm-mm,
It was,
no.
this was like,
It's more intimate.
yeah, and it was more like, kid and play. We're having, ironically enough, a house party. People think they just did that
Mhm.
in the movies, but they actually had real house parties too.
Oh, and house music at that time was so big. We would all go to the clubs and,
Of
it was so much
course.
fun. We were all dancing. Oh, it was, such good times
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it
Oh, I
was.
imagine you're probably partying with beef juice and all kinds of Chicago things. Now that I'm
Yeah.
remembering, oh my God.
Of course. Yeah. As a reminder, you're from right down the road here in Champaign, Urbana.
Oh, it's so what a lifetime ago. I mean,
I
I'm in
know.
I'm in London, England, and honestly, I mean, kind of shocked you haven't asked me how I'm feeling, as
I
I'm
was getting
clearly
there. I was getting there. How are you doing, Letty?
well, I'm clearly in morning gown. I'm wearing a
Oh,
black veil and a
yeah.
black dress
The Queen, of
because the
course.
queen has died. And even though they said that the time for mourning has ended nationally, I don't feel that's right to simply move on with our male queen.
I don't think that's the title he prefers.
I will not call him king.
Okay. Well, and but so yeah, you're in very much a black, and you do have a veil.
Mhm.
There's like a collection of sort of widows behind you, sort of collecting your train.
Yes, yes, I did have to hire only widows to collect my train, for it didn't feel right to not have others who are connected with death and understand death the way that I now do for losing my beloved Queen of England, the
Yeah.
place where I live and call home.
You said I saw your post on Facebook
Mhm.
where you said that this hits you the hardest.
I've
Uh,
never experienced a loss like this before, and my grandmother died yesterday, and honestly, it is what it is. That's how I felt about that one. The
Grandma Jane that
Queen?
was around the set all the time, that like raised
Yes.
you.
Yes, yes. She passed away yesterday, unfortunately. It was a freak accident where she slept. She fell asleep and died in her sleep, and that is a shame.
Yeah, this that's okay. That's not a freak accident. That's natural
Well, I'm
causes,
sorry.
but
I go to sleep every day, and I've never died.
That's fair. But okay, so I guess I was just wondering, like, this is a real blood relative, your grandma, not like one of the grandmas from the cult.
Well, I haven't done an ancestry.com to see if I'm related to the Queen of England, because that could be possible.
Yeah, you could be in the line of succession.
I could definitely, that's very possible for sure. And yes, no, this was my real grandmother. And, yes, she dropped me off at set every day and everyone knew her. And sometimes she made cookies for everyone. And everyone said, oh, Grandma Jane, we love you so much. But, people die except for royalty.
Except for royalty. That's I see why that's hitting you so hard.
It really is.
Well, do you think you can chin up and make it through the show?
I don't know.
Right.
Who even speaking with today? Are we speaking with any leads of the series finally?
No, not yet. They're coming. I have letters out to all of them, but today, because none of my letters were getting out, we held a fan contest. We had a fan contest. We're gonna have a super fan on the show to sort of ask us some questions for a change. So that'll be nice, right? I feel like that'll help pick your spirits up.
I love being interviewed. That would be amazing.
Yeah. What was your last interview?
I'm sorry, when was my last interview?
Yeah, why are you repeating the question like you need more time to think about it?
Well, I'm just shocked. I mean, I have so many. It's so hard. I mean, the other day I was in a cafe and I was interviewed, actually. The young man working there said, would you like to drink? And that was a profound interview because I felt that the answers I gave were really reflective to the point I am in my life.
That's fair. Okay. All right. Well, let's take that energy into this episode, and we'll dedicate it. Well, I'll put a thing up on the beginning that says "dedicated to the Queen."
Thank you.
And yeah, here I'm gonna go ahead and play the theme song from the show. I've been told that we're no longer on whatever streaming service we were on last week. That we're now on Paramount Plus.
Oh, yes, Paramount Plus, where they have Survivor.
Yeah, but we are, for some reason, they have put us in the Nickelodeon section of Paramount Plus, which is interesting. But here, I'm going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll get started. I'll cut all this out.
Lovely.
Okay. Hello, welcome into Fanny Falls Demon Hunter, the official rewatch podcast. I'm Topher Jason.
I'm the one and only Letty Lamora, coming to you live from London, England.
I think that you should go ahead and start saying Lady Letty Lamora.
Well, I haven't yet been knighted with this new male queen. I'm not so sure I will be. I was getting pretty close to the last one.
I remember that you used to actually do really well with the male queens in Chicago.
Yes, I loved them. Loved them. We go out all the time. Go to the gay village and dance the night away at Roscoe's and that place. His name I can't Spin.
Yeah. They call it Boys Town, not the gay village, by the way.
Oh, we used to call it the gay village. Although that also might not have been official, and that might have been a thing that we said on set.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We called it the gay village.
Yeah, the gay village.
I do remember also that's what you called that M. Night Shyamalan movie when it came out, the gay village.
To me, the creatures were so very gay. I thought it was very obvious.
It was subtext. That, he always puts a twist in his movies, and I think that was sort of the secret twist of that movie.
Well, I think the twist of every movie is that the characters are gay.
Oh, every movie.
I believe so. Even films I've been in, I play every single role subtextually, as if, she has a secret, and her secret is she's gay.
Okay, I'm scrolling through your IMDb here, so let me just ask you about a couple.
Oh, that's so long. I pity the fool that has to read through my IMDb.
It says 7 titles.
No, there should be many more.
Well, there's a lot of where it's like woman interviewed on the news as self.
Those are all worthwhile appearances.
Some, and then like some of them under the self section, it says some woman next to Cairo Alexander at a movie premiere.
It does not say some woman, surely. I mean, for years, people would ask me, who is that piece of arm candy you're with? No one knew who he was.
Right. That was back in the day, of course. Yeah. Now, but so you say a lot of your characters were gay. It said you were a voice in Disney's Planes.
Yes. I had to voice a delicious little helicopter in Planes. The helicopter's name was Kevin. It was very strange, and so I played it as though I was, yes, in love with other helicopters.
Which in this world, helicopters are all boys.
Yes.
Or
yes.
girls?
Well, they're all, in the lore of planes and helicopters fell in love. I was the sassy friend that told the leading lady helicopter, oh, what do you see in him?
Right. So, girl, you have got to dump him. Was like,
yes, obviously very gay.
Okay, all right.
Because she's saying, because Kevin the helicopter was saying, you have to dump the plane to date me.
So
that's how I played that. And I thought I mean, the critics, I think they got it because they called my performance very fun.
Oh, they were specifically talking about your performance when they said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the film as a whole bombed, but my performance was very fun.
It's funny that you voiced a helicopter, and yet now I know your husband, the famous director Cairo Alexander, is making a movie that's like the Fast and that's.
It's not like the Fast and the Furious. It is a spin-off of I believe the last film that was released where they went to space, and it is called the Speedy and the Sexy,
right?
And they're about to, they're gonna fly in the air, they're gonna go to space, they're gonna steal VCRs. It's a reboot, if you will.
Yeah, but of course the twist is he's sort of a Shyamalan in his own right. The twist is that there's no people in this one; it's all the cars just doing stuff on their own.
Because that's really what people want to see. They want to see cars.
I mean, that's why I go to those movies or sneak into them, is because I love the cars. I don't, the acting, like none of those actors have been nominated for an Oscar for that movie. You know what I'm saying? But the cars would be if they had a category for that. But so they should. I've said that. I've been campaigning in the Academy for years for that. But it's just interesting that you voiced a helicopter, and yet he's still not giving you any of those parts as a car.
Oh no, I'm a consultant on this film.
And what are you consulting?
Well, obviously my helicopter knowledge. Okay. And I have flown on many airplanes. I know how this works.
So even though this is just like mostly cars, like you're just sort of.
What don't you understand about this? I'm a film consultant. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard to understand.
So you're just consulting on things like motors, things that cars and helicopters have in common, like motors.
They need that for films, for the authenticity.
Steering, you tell them like, hey, if you steer to the left, it goes to the left.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how little actors know.
Oh, no, I don't think I would be. Of course.
That's true. Very true.
We have a lot of fun. But, he did offer me a part as one of the cars, a bus, actually.
He didn't tell me that.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, I'm hoping that when I make my way over, of course, I'm trying to make my way over to London to visit you, as you told me to do 22 years ago.
I think I said that.
You did, at the rap party. It's 25 years ago now.
I didn't even live in London then.
I know, but you just said wherever I live, come visit me.
Oh God, I was on a lot of angel dust because of the house parties that we went to.
Hell, we were all young, weren't we? Yeah.
Yes. So
those kid and play parties. Those kid and play parties were full of angel dust.
Yes, I don't know if we meant everything we said and did.
I did. I meant all the things that I said. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but I said a lot of things, in particular about, my thoughts about the Iran-Contra dispute.
What do we have going on today on the podcast?
Oh, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think that you should get into that.
That's fair. So we're going to be talking about the episode Cellular Generation today, and we have. In fact, why don't we go ahead and bring on our guest?
Right.
It should be a treat for, frankly, all of us. I think we all could use the boost this week. We had a super fan contest. I believe it was an essay. And
oh yes, it was MLA cited and everything.
And we have our winner here today, the biggest Fanny Falls Demon Hunter super fan that there is. She made it here on the podcast, and we're so happy to have her to turn the tables a little bit and find out what the fans think of the show and what questions they have. Joining us today is Brittany Boxleitner.
Hello! Oh my gosh! I can't believe this is happening. I'm
Hi.
so excited. Hello!
It is happening.
Hello! I am the #1 Fanny Falls fan. So excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Tell us a little about yourself, Brittany. Where are you from?
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Topher Jason. This is so crazy. My name is Brittany. I'm 25 years old, and I am the #1 Fanny Falls Demon Hunter fan.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes.
But what's the rest of your life? I mean,
do you have any life outside of watching the show that was
Not
airing
really.
years ago?
Not really. So, from the time of my birth, 1997, up until 2013, me and my mom were held captive in a bunker, and
so not much of a life.
And we didn't have much, but what we did have was Fanny Falls Demon Hunter season 1 and stuck on our TV. So I watched a lot of that again.
But you had one of those deals where the TV gets stuck showing one show.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the repeat from that. So safe to say I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of the show.
I'm so thrilled to hear that we are what kept you safe in that bunker.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't have friends, so I had demon hunters.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Yeah. And your room was based on you guys, the Brie Larson movie?
Not quite sure what.
Okay, that's fair.
That's totally fair.
I've never met a Brie.
I've never met a Brie I didn't like.
Oh, come on. Stop this. Oh, behave.
We love party. We love party cheeses.
Oh, it's a cheese.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I don't know anything about.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got to.
I mean, I always believed that our show, that my acting specifically, had the power to change lives. And it sounds like I did that.
I'm just so excited because, man, do I have some questions for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly about what the world was like while we were locked away.
Oh, just in general, like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you got out just in time for the Trump presidency.
You got out.
Yeah, 2013. It was like One Direction, big, huge.
Bieber.
Yeah,
that's definitely what I remember.
Yeah, the greatest decade, the 2010s.
I remember a lot, but for
Gravity.
Yeah, but you sort of missed Obama.
Was that another cheese?
Well, he was president for a couple of years when you were out in the world. But yeah, I guess you missed low-rise jeans.
Apple bottom jeans, certainly. Boots with the fur.
Boots with the fur.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun.
Actually, was quite painful, emotionally damaging for many in a generation.
I have a lot of emotional damage, so I'm sad I missed out on that.
Yours cannot compare to that of jeans being shitty on your body.
You're probably wondering how Ally McBeal ended and all that stuff. I mean, have you been able to catch up on the things that you were sort of new before then?
I was born in my little house. I was born in 1997. I've never known a world outside of Fanny Falls Demon Hunter.
Okay, right.
Or,
so you
Fanny
can't
Falls
answer the
Demon
question,
Hunter.
Where were you on 9/11?
And that's actually a question that I had for you guys.
Oh.
What was that like?
Well, first of all, don't get Letty started.
I don't know if it even happened,
Oh, wow.
It
And
just feels fake.
honestly, Letty, whatever you tell me.
Yes, these towers that came down, but did they really? I mean, it was the way it looked. It looked so much like Independence Day, the film, a film I'm not sure that you also would have
Haven't seen it with love and
It's
opportunity.
just, I mean, and so I guess if you were to say, where were you when you found out this was happening? I was at the mall.
I was in my bunker. We didn't know. I didn't know it was happening until 2013, and then when we came out, they were like, "Here's all the stuff that you missed."
Oh, I was returning pleather pants at Hot Topic.
I was of course in New York. I was selling masks, for $20. Sort of like breathing, face mask. We're all very familiar with them now, but of course at the time they were a novelty, so I was able to sell them for $20.
Whoa.
How convenient!
But you were actually in New York when it happened, you're saying?
Yeah, I was.
Selling the one most precious thing that people needed.
Exactly. It was which really made me feel needed, which was a very good time for me. I think of 9/11 as a very good time for me.
I don't know that that's something that you really want to say.
What do you care? You don't even believe it happened. You said that on our episode that came out September 12th.
Well, I'm aware.
Okay, and I was locked in a bunker for all those years, and even I know that's too soon.
I will not be disrespected when the Queen has died so recently.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm sorry. Look, I guess I do want to ask Brittany. Like, I don't want to get too far into your in the weeds of your trauma, but has this person, were you locked by a person?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
and
well, my mother was, and then
and is she? I assume it was a woman who locked you in, or
it was a man.
Oh wow, you wouldn't think so.
Why wouldn't you think so? She was born in the bunker.
I just don't think a man would do that kind of thing.
It would be a man to make me watch my favorite show, Fanny Falls, Demon Hunter, again and again and again, and love it.
That's fair. I just believe, maybe if your mom had found a nice guy, then maybe stuff like this wouldn't happen to her. But
what?
Well, she's on OkCupid right now. If anybody would like to,
nice.
She hit the ground running. She went right back out there, put herself in the dating pool. I, on the other hand, when I came out of the bunker, I quickly decided I'm going to catch up on all the things I missed because I had only ever watched Fanny Falls Demon Hunter. I'd only ever watched it, and so I was like, there has to be more. So I'm working my way.
Have you found more? I mean,
I found more other shows to
like
watch.
What are you into now?
Right now, I'm really watching a lot of Citizen Kane.
A lot of it.
Over and over again.
It's kind of like, it's what I'm used to, I get it. Maybe you guys don't watch it because you weren't stuck in a bunker for your whole life. But for me, I like to watch something again and again and again and again and again, just like I did with Fanny Falls Demon Hunter. So I'll watch it about 16, 17 times on repeat before I can actually be like, yeah.
You get it. I thought you were saying that you related to the film, and I thought that was quite odd because he wasn't in a bunker. He was actually a wealthy media magnate.
But in a way, Charles Foster Kane was in a bunker of his own making, where he was sort of self-isolated, and that's why the only thing that he cared about was that sled. Spoiler, I guess you've seen it, so
you've seen it 17 times. Yeah,
I've seen it. Oh, I know. Yeah,
Rosebud was a sled.
Yes.
So I guess spoiler.
I still haven't figured out what that means just yet, but I think by the 20th time I'll figure out the symbolism or the imagery.
So this man who locked you in, has he been brought to justice?
No.
You were brought in this fantasy world where you're watching Fanny.
Sorry. This person's not. So are they still? Do they still have a bunker with people in it?
No, the people. I think he still. We don't really keep in touch, but we really. He still has the bunker, probably.
Yeah, you don't know about his home modeling.
Yeah, it's probably there, and right now we're just kind of like, we'll see you later. We thought best to just distance ourselves from this man.
You said, we'll see you later to your captive. Yeah.
You threw up the deuces. You said, we're out.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Bye-bye. I can't wait to try a Big Mac. And that was actually my second question for you guys. What is a Big Mac?
Oh, okay. I can field this one.
Yes, do it.
Yeah, it's 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
Let me just write that down.
Write that down. But you don't have to know the ingredients to order one.
And that's actually something that someone who's never been held captive in a bunker for most of their life would say.
Letty, I need you to be a little more sensitive to Brittany's sort of.
No, she said she didn't know. She was writing the ingredients down for reasons that I could only guess meant she was going to order them one by one at the McDonald's.
Yeah, have you been ordering all of
actually-
your meals like ingredient by ingredient?
I didn't know there was another way.
Okay.
And honestly, Letty, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
They say never meet your heroes, but here I am meeting them. And so it's just like, I didn't expect to learn so much. Yeah.
I know. I can't. It must be such a thrill for you to be here with numbers 4 and 9 on the call sheet from Fanny Falls Demon
Numbers
Hunter.
4 and 9 on my best friend list too. So don't ever forget that.
That's so nice. I see the poster you have
I
in the
thought I was
background.
third on the call sheet. Thank you very much.
Were you third?
I'm pretty sure.
I think there was a contract negotiation probably around this point in the season, where I think things had broken bad between you and Solomon, who played the Mummy. Of course, you know that, Brittany. Solomon Buckton, who played the Mummy, had a torrid affair that sort of broke bad here, and you insisted.
What?
It broke bad as if we suddenly started doing meth. That's a television series that you wouldn't know about. It's called Breaking Bad, about a couple of rambunctious meth heads that get cancer.
Wait, you and Solomon were dating outside of the show?
Guilty as discharged. Yes, we were.
Dishonorable as discharged. It was, yeah. So, of course, on the show, Solomon was dating Fanny, of course,
Are you okay
Nathan.
with this information, Brittany?
It's just kind of changing a lot of how you think you know these people who you grew up with.
We had lives that weren't the characters, right?
Exactly.
Well, I didn't, so.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So,
Does this accent freak you out?
You're doing fine with the accent, right?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Absolutely fine. Just happy to be here I was so happy to be chosen for this contest.
Yeah, on the show, Nathan Solomon, who played Nathan, was dating Fanny, played by Thora, but of course in real life, Thora and I were dating and got married. I know.
Married,
yeah, I know. That was in our vows.
Okay.
Was she looked at me and said "you," just like you said it just now.
Yeah.
So
like I said, we did a lot of PCP then.
Yeah, I'm very used to that reaction, and it's not really relevant, but I will mention, of course, I was also married to Tara Reid briefly in 2007.
Oh, from Sharknado. Love that movie.
Yes, from Sharknado.
Was that in the bunker with you?
No, it was just one of the first things I watched when I freed myself. I said,
okay.
This world is kind of crazy. Sharks in the sky. I'll check it out.
They become tornadoes.
But so you guys are broken up, and so I think you insisted as part of the breakup that you get bumped ahead of him on the call sheet. I believe it was.
No, I was third.
Yeah, it was Thora and then Brett who played Miss Thickness, and then you eventually for this episode only, and then I think you got bumped pretty swiftly down to 7 after an argument with Colby, the show creator. You may not know this, Brittany, but Colby Clementine created the show.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you saw her name in the
many times. Yes, many times. Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what level of disbelief we're working.
Well, she
with.
probably listened to the first episode of the podcast. That's how she got on here, where she heard Kobe berate us,
sexually harass us, threaten violence
verbally,
on us. It was really a lot like our time on the show with her.
It really was.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your essay that you submitted?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely listen to the podcast. Love it.
Thank you.
Love it every week. It comes out so fun. And that is how I found out about the contest through the podcast that I listened to.
I mean, we didn't talk about it on the podcast, but I see what you're saying.
It was on the socials. Yes.
Yeah, it's on our socials.
So, anyways, the topic of the essay was, what does Fanny Falls Demon Hunter mean to you? And so I really took the demon hunter and kind of ran with that on my own personal demons of being locked in a bunker from the years 1997 to 2013. So I kind of did a little my life, because Fanny was hunting demons and I was also hunting demons of my own.
Yeah.
Never having seen the sky until I was almost.
Wow, that's a big demon. That's a very big demon.
Until I was a teenager.
But in the plus side, you were 16 when you got out, so I imagine you got that driver's license, baby.
I did. Yes. No, I was, and that's the first thing after I watched Sharknado. The second thing I did was jump in a car. Um,
Jump in the car. You said,
Jump
"Oh,
in the
Sky,
car.
what's that?"
I said, I gotta see more. I gotta see more.
Yeah.
And then started the panic attacks.
Oh, those will come.
They will, and they did.
See, I have those as well, but they come when I think, oh, will I ever get another role again? You know, that's how this business works. It just throws you into a
Totally.
panic. It's the
Yeah.
same
It's the
thing.
same. I love that. I love to connect. I can't believe I'm connecting with you right now about this. This is so crazy.
Your stars are just like you.
Yeah. I have panic
That's
attacks
a
as well
great
when
point. They are just like me.
it's from a magazine, but you wouldn't know that.
I can't read, so I wouldn't.
Oh,
know.
really?
Oh.
So okay, so you don't know. So then I imagine your mom just told you that says created by Colby Clementine.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing that your essay was so good.
Well, I can write beautifully. I just.
Oh, you can write, but you can't read.
And then you just take it on faith that it says what you think it says.
Well, I wrote it, so.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because I didn't actually see your essay. I think it was maybe Letty, your agent, that selected.
Wait, you guys didn't read it?
No.
You guys can read though, right?
Yes, but it was read to us. So I don't know if you dictated it.
I famously, by the way, can't read and get the wolves that used to live with me to read the scripts that I get. They did not. They said that it was a good essay.
Oh, okay.
And I have a PhD in English literature from DeVry University Online.
Oh,
Which is interesting because they normally do
That's
things
amazing.
like TV VCR repair,
No, not this time.
sort of technical, like ITT tech
Not
type
for me.
things.
Wait,
Okay.
a doctor.
I am a
A
doctor.
doctor of literature.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still didn't read my essay.
I
Oh,
did read it.
Locked in a basement for years. No
It
one
was
read
read
That's
to
nice.
me. It was read to me.
Again, yeah, the wolves read it to me, and someone read it to Letty. I'm sure.
Right.
I'm just
Okay.
busy, you know. I
Thank
was in
you.
morning.
Thanks for doing.
Well, I guess do you have a couple questions you want to get to us before we jump into an ad break here?
Yeah. We already crossed off the 9/11 one. We definitely covered the Big Mac
We
one
definitely
for
covered
sure.
it, yes.
For sure. Big Mac.
Uh-huh.
I feel very confident on Big Macs. And then I just had one more question, and it was which one is your favorite Beatles from the group?
We went live then.
Oh,
You know that?
I mean,
no.
Brittany was born when our show was on the air.
But of course, we all have favorite Beatles.
Yeah.
You know, of course. Mine is George Harrison.
Oh, those Beatles. Okay.
Spiritual. He was very spiritual.
On the set, I ran a little sort of flea circus with a collection of stink beetles, and I thought that's what you were asking about.
Oh,
Yeah, they would sort of dance around and squirt their little stink out, and I would make it spell different things, you know, depending on if it was a corporate gig or not.
did you name them?
Yeah, John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
So could you tell us?
See,
does it
because I'm like going back in time. There's so much to cover. There's so much history for me to learn. And so right now I'm in the 60s, and I'm learning about the Beatles. So that's
wow,
why
yeah.
I thought maybe my third and ninth best friend might have an opinion on it. But I guess maybe that's a stupid question to ask now.
No.
I mean, I live in London. Hello, Beatles. Tra la la. We have mini skirts and boots. I mean,
Oh, do you hang out with them in London?
no, they're unfortunately mostly dead. They're half dead.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're like me before my coffee. Half
Like
dead.
Ringo is dead, certainly.
You would
Ringo
think
was
so,
actually
but
quite alive.
yeah, Ringo will outlast the cockroaches. I'm pretty
my
sure.
God.
He's
Okay.
actually the most youthful of the two that are left.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know that you had a story about you worked with Ringo, Letty, on was that a movie or a show or a song? I
Yes.
don't remember.
It was a musical episode of a Bollywood series that was cancelled.
Cool.
It was called Chai There, like hi there, chai there.
Right.
And so yeah, we had a dance number. He's got two left feet. I mean,
I did
Right.
not know that about Ringo.
Well, he is left-handed. That's canon.
yeah.
So that I don't know if that plays in here.
Yeah, so he can't really dance, and it was really frustrating, and he kept blaming it on me, but of course I was a perfect dancer, and he said, you can't do anything with this one. She's an idiot, and I said, you're the one that's not dancing.
That is so cool.
I
What was it
know.
that you said? They're just like us? The stars are just like us.
I
Wow.
know, it's so true.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So true.
I'm gonna get you a subscription to Us Weekly. Brittany, I think that you would really like that. It'll keep you informed about the new business of Hollywood.
Can you send someone to read it to me?
Absolutely, yeah, because nothing keeps people informed like the modern medium of magazines. Really, up to the 2 weeks ago news of Hollywood. All right, well, I think we're gonna. This is a treat, Brittany, but we're gonna jump into a fan favorite episode here. So episode 6, of course, of 13. Cellular Generation.
Cellular Generation.
That's right, you know it. And we're going to jump into that. We're going to listen to clips from it. We're going to talk all about it with superfan Brittany Boxleitner coming up right after this on Fanny Falls, Demon Hunter, the Rewatch podcast. Okay, Letty, you just have to read the things that are in bold on the copy, or else the wolves they do get very mad. Okay.
What are you talking about?
For the ad read.
What do you mean? I read my line.
I know you're very good at lines, but if we don't say exactly the things that they want us to say here, I will
improvise. I'm sorry that I studied at the Groundlings.
We can improvise around it, but there are certain things, the things in bold, we have to say those.
Okay, fine.
Okay, I'll cut all that out. Don't worry. Our sponsor this week is Wolf Wine made by the lovely wolves of Wolf Canyon, California, beautiful, right outside of Bakersfield.
Ooh, yum! Wine is so tasty.
Okay, they're going to be so mad that you laughed through that, but
it's a farce. I'm sorry.
No.
I'll do it again.
Okay.
Oh, wine is so tasty.
You gotta say yum.
Yum.
Thank you. I'll put it together like you didn't without the break. Of course, do I know these wolves? Yes. But that does not change the fact that this wine is delicious and is no more than 12% wolf urine.
Yum. Gobble it up in your gullet if you want to.
Yeah, that's the wolves are very clear that you only have to drink this if you want to. It's the first wine to be really expressive about consent. You can find it wherever you find most cleaning products or Bass Pro Shops. Where you can find sort of things to put out like duck urine to track ducks or whatever.
Inside of you, there are 2 wolves, and they both want wine. Haba haba awooga.
The wolves are not, in fact, trying to make a play for the government of the United States. And if you think that's wrong. And you don't need to worry that the wolves are trying to use me as their puppet figurehead to overthrow the government. What's wrong?
Do you have to read every single thing that the wolves told you to? Because this feels bad.
I don't think it's bad. I mean, the wolves, are they hot on my trail? Are they mad that I left Bakersfield, California, and that I'm trying to come travel to you? Yes, but I'm not worried about their attitude. For example, don't get me wrong, some of them are quite testy, some of them can be quite cranky if they don't get their wolf wine in the morning, and that's actually the next line that you need to read.
Jump to the end, I guess, of this farce.
Okay, don't even talk to me before I've had my wolf wine. Wolf wine, we promise, is made by wolves for the wolf in you, and is not affiliated with the Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan.
Oh.
Oh my God, Letty, I think one of the wolves is...
Oh no, I'm under attack.
I told you to read what they said.
But I didn't want to because it's stupid. They are bad writers, the wolves.
Oh my God, Letty, I can hear that they're getting closer. Just do me a favor, just lock your door real quick and then we'll finish the episode.
I'm on the second story. Am I in trouble?
Yes, the wolves can climb. Yes, you have a lot of ivy outside your chateau.
Since when did wolves climb?
My wolves, I taught them how to climb.
Why have you done this thing?
I taught them how to climb. I taught them how to read.
Puppet, bye. Tear down humanity, and now you're teaching them to climb? What is this, Ninja Warrior?
Oh my God, your ocelot, I can see, is on guard. Your ocelot.
Be on guard.
The fur is all standing up. His hackles are up. Oh my God. Please don't put your ocelot out tonight, okay?
All right.
Promise me.
All right. I believe we're all in the clear. Cairo shot one of them.
What? No, that's our sponsor, Letty.
They were climbing up my walls.
We need that money.
They made a global siren go off to come and get me. I mean, how is that not terrifying?
Okay, so, and also it's not American money or British money that they're giving us. It's a collection of sticks and wolf droppings.
This is a really bad business.
Well, we need sponsors. Hey, if you want to sponsor the show, hit us up on social media. And in the meantime, do get yourself, it's sold exclusively in 6-packs, wolf wine and wolf wine coolers now available for if you want your wolf urine. Sorry, I said that wrong. Wolf wine cool. You can get it in a special 6-pack of wine coolers. and do me a favor, read that one last part in bold.
Okay, fine. Oh, you're gonna love it. It's great, but not like in a tiger way, in a wolf way. Ow!
And we're back here on the Fanny Falls Demon Hunter, the podcast, here to talk about episode 6, Cellular Generation. This, like many of the episodes, was written and directed by Colby. So this is an episode largely about cell phones. Letty, what do you know about cell phones, Brittany?
Cell phones, I love them. You know, yeah. I was very excited for Fanny when she got a cell phone because it was the first one I'd ever seen. They seem very cool and useful for calling people for help. I wish I would have had one.
Right. I bet that looked like an absolute dream to you to be able to call for anyone.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
It seemed cool to me. Yeah.
I know I've often thought that, you know, when cell phones first came out and I was walking home late at night, you know, after a long night of doing whatever I will because I have the freedom to do so and go places. And, you know, I'd be like, oh my God, I wish I could, you know, call a friend on my way home to make this go faster. And so I understand that feeling. Yes.
Do you have friends? I mean, I know that we are your friends, Brittany, don't get me wrong, but, you know, how's your mom? Do you talk to your mom still?
Yeah, I do. I have friends. Athora is my friend. Solomon is my friend. Letty, my friend.
Of course, in a manner of speaking. You've never...
Right, Bill Gerson is my friend. So is Diane Scully.
Right. Oh, you're friends with even Diane, who only played Miss Thickness on one episode.
That's one episode that I watched many times.
That's true.
Topher Jason is low on my list of friends.
Yeah, number 9 on the call list of
yes,
friends.
Absolutely. And that's it.
Okay.
Oh, those are my friends. What more? That seems like a pretty good group of friends to me, if you ask me.
That's a great group of friends.
Thank you so much.
I do need
and
to
you guys are all friends too, right?
Yes, in real life. We hang out.
What are the demons like in real life? I've always wanted to ask that question.
Well, you know that the demons are fantasy. That none of the things you see are real.
They're played by different actors. Of course, James Gandolfini a couple of weeks ago played the demon Manibus.
They had costumes and prosthetics.
Yeah. You know, it's like Halloween.
But when Fanny hunts them, they die in real life, right?
Oh no, that was acting.
Okay.
Are you processing this information?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Anyway, I've always wanted a cell phone.
Well, yes, the magic of television gave you one, kind of in a way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, why don't we just jump right into this first clip from the episode? This is the episode opening, and in this clip we have pretty much the whole gang. We have Jasmine, Letty, of course, Charles, Fanny, Miss Thickness, and they are doing research, trying to find out some information on the professor. Of course, in our last episode, we found out that the professor cursed Nathan thousands of years ago into being a mummy, and so because of that, we now know that he's been around for a long time. So that's where we start. We'll jump into this clip, and we'll be back on the other side of it on Fanny Falls Demon Hunter, the podcast.
What are we looking for in these books again?
Any mention of the professor. Now that we know he's existed for thousands of years, surely we can find some mention of him in recorded history.
You know, when I lie and tell my parents I'm studying with friends, it's not usually so I can study with friends. Ugh. Jasmine, you're a witch. Can't you just do one of your little twinkle dinkle things and search all the books at once so we can go call it a day and grab a hot dog?
Ophelia, my little twinkle dinkle thing is not a toy. My magic has to mean something. It's not just a fix-all to all of our problems. Every spell extracts a dark price.
So you're saying we should order a pizza?
I'll call in the order from the phone in the office.
No need, Miss T. I got it.
Whoa, Fanny, is that a cell telephone?
My mom got it for me. I still don't think she's used to me walking around Chicago by myself. Of course, she don't know I'm the thing that scarers get scared of.
Oh, please. Like, Chicago is so much more dangerous than you riding your tractor down a dirt road to the holler for a moonshine party in a quarry or whatever.
Ophelia, one day we gotta have a talk about what you think Tennessee is.
Oh, you're wearing a little barrel to the barn dance.
Fanny, a cell telephone. Wow, your mother must be making good money writing those Snapple caps.
As sure as vultures can fly for 6 hours without flapping their wings. That's one of her best Snapple caps.
Frankly, I'm just surprised Ophelia let herself get beaten to a trend as hot as cell telephones.
I don't believe in those things. They give you brain tumors.
Don't you have a car phone?
That's different. It's gas-powered.
Hi, can I get 2 pizzas delivered to the high school gym? Pepperoni, olives,
and
Canadian bacon.
you know, in Canada, we just called it back bacon.
We know.
Thank you.
God, the art in all of these old books gives me the hoobity-jubilies. Like, I get that you had to do little drawings of demons destroying towns because disposable cameras didn't exist yet, but why go through all the trouble of drawing this creep still selling flowers in the town square while his city burns?
Let me see that. It's him. Miss T, it's him.
The creepy florist?
I don't think he's actually selling flowers, Ophelia.
Oh, so you're telling me he's an all-powerful, eternally evil being who just thought it would be fun to put on a striped apron?
Hey, check this out.
The Great Fire of London in 1666, but what?
Look who's selling bonbons in the corner.
That's not all. Here he is selling bread outside Sodom and Gomorrah in 1900 BC. Wonder if it needed salt. Okay, I cannot figure out what makes you guys laugh.
Well, it appears our professor possesses a penchant for entrepreneurism.
Well, then you can call me the Taft-Hartley Act of 1947, because I'm about to break up some businesses.
Wow. Okay.
Yay!
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Amazing reference to the Taft-Hartley Act.
God,
Yeah,
takes
cool.
me back. Takes me back to my bunker, you know?
Back to, you know? What do you think of when you hear that?
Yeah. Where does it put you when you watch this episode? Like, where were you the first time you saw it? Do you remember?
In my bunker, you know, maybe in the left corner, which was my favorite corner, to watch things in. Yeah, you know, I've kind of seen this episode in every single inch of my my space that we had together, me and my mom. But yeah, it just takes me back. It takes me back. You know, I feel very trapped when I watched it. When I was listening back to it just now, it reminded me. Yeah.
I get it. I used to live in a loft that was only like 800 square feet, so I think I pretty much understand what you went through.
Totally.
I do want to say I'm pretty sure we had like a sponsorship deal from Nokia for this episode.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Because we all got phones for free.
We did, yeah. We say cell telephone a lot in this episode. That's not a thing anyone really ever said.
It's sort of what you called, you know, you'd say, reach me on my cellular. Or we'd say mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, you would. As you sort of got more and more, let's say, continental.
Yes, I became very chic and sophisticated during this time. Probably a lot to do with the fact that I had a cellular phone.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Again, we all had them. We were on each other's friends and family plan.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were in my, you know, it was sort of a top 8, which is interesting because I was number 9 on the call sheet. And so I was often not in people's top 8.
Yes. Kids.
And again, we only had like 6 or 7 regular cast members. So
Yeah.
Colby would often find ways to make me, so she would find inanimate objects or sort of extras and make them 7 or 8 on the call sheet.
Well, a lot of times the extras were really good.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
but, I had lines and I was contributing to the plot of the show.
Sometimes they ad-libbed lines, and I remember Colby would go, "Oh, wait, that I like that better," and the writers would be so mad.
Now, I do want to mention that I'm not in the rest of the clips you pulled because, of course, I have a B plot that goes throughout the episode. Do you want to talk about that, Brittany? You can talk about it if you want. I know you've seen this episode a lot, so you probably
A lot, yeah. Yeah, there was that thing that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
With the cell phone. Give me just a second. The witch. The witch is there. The witch is there, and she's doing
Jasmine.
stuff.
Yeah, that's all in the A plot. But I have the B plot. You probably remember. You've seen this episode a lot. I have the B plot where it's the B plot to is sort of an ironic name for it because I was turned into a beekeeper.
Turned into a bee. You're turned into a beekeeper.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, you
totally.
remember, of course. I was a beekeeper in this episode. I had to keep. There's a storyline where I had to keep bees and raise them and make honey.
Right. Because we had to use real bees on set, and that was disruptive.
That was at the insistence of Colby, and
It's great because I had never seen a bee before.
Wow,
Kind of interesting. Yeah.
So this is your introduction to bees
And cell phones.
Wow.
Big episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm like, oh, I'm a beekeeper. And I went to costumes and I was like, do you guys want to size me for the beekeeper suit? And they said, no, you're not wearing a beekeeper suit. You're gonna raw dog it essentially with these bees. I wanted to get that Tony Todd deal from Candyman where he got $100 every time he got stung by a bee. But in fact, something that Colby talked me into somehow was I had to pay her $100 every time.
Yeah, because she said it was a moral failing every time you were stung. And
she said
that was the curse on the show.
Yeah, she said that if I had sort of been better at acting, then I wouldn't be getting stung because the bees would respect me.
That could be true. Bees do respect someone with power and confidence.
Yeah, that's true. What animals, are there animals or insects that you did meet down in your bunker?
Yeah, we had, we had some spiders.
Ooh,
we had one chicken and
you had a chicken living with you?
Yeah.
For all the 16 years.
Well, most of them. Most of the 16 years, yeah.
What happened to that chicken?
As chickens do, they go to live on another farm filled with other chickens where they can run. And, it was just we were always trying to find a time to escape. It was me, Mom, the chicken, and we were always just one day all three of us were getting out of here. And then one day, the chicken got out, and we had always just been run, just go whenever you can. And so she got out first, and just ran.
Yeah,
never. And we kind of had a spoken agreement that whoever got out would come back for the others. But
was that quite painful for you?
Absolutely painful. Yeah. Thanks for bringing it up.
The chicken never came back for you. That's not how you got out.
No, that's not how we got out. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that is, I think that's one of the chickens that was in the movie Chicken Run. Mm-hmm. Ironically enough, I think it is.
Yeah, and that was based on a true story, our story. They editorialized.
They changed a lot about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember.
I have seen. I was ticked off when I saw that movie. Let me tell you that. But because I did watch the movie a couple of times, but I was pretty peeved at how they did that.
Yeah, well, no worries. Any other questions about this scene or this episode before we jump into scene 2?
I just think that my other question would be, why did you and Thora get a divorce?
It's well-trod territory that I got.
Oh, you've covered it on the podcast before. Maybe I just hadn't listened to it. Maybe I just wasn't. Maybe I was just going into one of my spells and I missed it when I listened, because I listen all the time.
Yeah, weird that you wouldn't have listened to it. It's your favorite.
I listen.
also go into spells like that too.
I listen.
I understand. Yeah,
I listen to the podcast every week. It gets released on Tuesday afternoons.
Okay.
Right, of course.
It drops on Mondays, but
she listens to it on Tuesdays.
Right when it gets released, Tuesdays.
Yeah, it gets released on Mondays. What are your spells like, Letty? You were saying?
Oh, sometimes when you're talking, I also just kind of blank.
When I'm talking.
Yeah.
Oh, it just happened just now. As soon as I opened my eyes, I watched her eyes glaze over. I
Yeah.
opened my mouth, I watched her. Anyway.
I just kind of have this thing when it happens a lot of times on set as an actor. Whenever I don't have lines, I kind of go into a spell where I stop paying attention.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember you would be looking at your phone a lot if you were doing off. And this is before the days of smartphones. So you would just be playing Snake.
I was looking, yeah. And
There were snakes in the phones?
No.
No. There's no snakes in phones.
There was a
They're safe.
video game.
I've never played it. They look like so
You're
much fun. though.
safe.
Yeah. You're
Thank you,
safe
Letty.
now.
Thank you, Letty.
Don't
Absolutely.
worry.
Thank you.
So that's just kind of a thing that happens that's relatable.
Well, I guess I'll just say to answer your question that I did get into a drunken fight with an inflatable snowman in our front yard because I was convinced that Thora was cheating on me.
He was
with
not
it.
doing well.
I wasn't doing well. I mean, she was cheating on me, but not with that snowman. But that's neither here nor there. And hopefully we'll have Thora on the show to talk about it, but I doubt it.
And do you think that you'd ever consider a real career in beekeeping?
Oh, wow. That's a great question.
Thank you.
I never would have thought so, but now that I have been a part of an animal community, like with the wolves, and of course my my agent Letty, Sam Wolfman. You see it. I mean, he wears a little tie, he has the tufts of hair on his ears.
Yeah, he
I feel like I'm describing a lot of agents, but
Yes,
so it's fair if you don't remember. I mean, he says a woo. Anyway. Yeah, now that I've done that, I think I would consider maybe being a beekeeper. I think that I could really make some friends, and maybe who knows, maybe we get a honey sponsorship out of the deal.
Because I just rewatched quickly, silently on my my screen the beekeeping part just to remind myself. But it does definitely look like you're acting, which is fun. But I just was curious.
nice.
Yeah. So weird that you need to remind yourself of something you've seen so many times. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Go
let's jump
ahead.
into episode 2, or rather the second clip.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
clip 2 of episode 6. So this starts with Letty. Of course, you're featured prominently in the scene. This is you're in Miss Thickness's office with Fanny and Miss Thickness, and you're sort of flipping through a magazine while they're talking about the professor. Here we go. We'll jump into that now.
So, you guys haven't had any luck strong-arming small Chicagoland businesses trying to uproot the professor?
Nothing. But on the plus side, I'm pretty sure if this whole demon hunting thing falls through, I'd make a crackerjack mob enforcer. Hello? Sorry, wrong number.
I'm gonna get a snack from the vending machine. You gals want anything? I fly, you buy. Nah, I'll get you something.
Yes, this human vessel requires sustenance.
What was that, Fanny?
Some Dunkaroos and a tab, please.
By the way, did I tell you I caught Mr. Delaney trying to look down my shirt when he was passing back our trig tests?
Interesting. This vessel holds a lot of power.
I guess you're right. Our feminine bodies are deeply powerful. We have to use them responsibly. I'm gonna blackmail him into bumping my test up a letter grade.
I meant my body, human. The power in this vessel is greater than the rest.
Yeah, we get it. Fanny strong, Fanny smash.
And this vessel has devoted human friends. Human friends that trusted enough to sit with their back turned in a room with this many weapons. Fools. Time to die, human.
Polulum dormiese.
Huh? Jasmine? Why is Fanny unconscious?
Fanny? Jasmine, I have one job, and I've trained for it literally my entire life, and it is to keep that girl safe. Start talking now.
See the sword in her hand? Fanny was about half a second away from giving your office walls a new coat of Ophelia red.
What? Fanny? Dear me, Ophelia, was she acting strange at all?
I don't know. Who's to say with Fanny? 1 minute she's saying that she's madder than a bucket of wet hens, and the next she's addressing me as human and calling Dunkaroos sustenance.
I've got an idea. Cactus quarere.
Is that Fanny's brain? Are you magically projecting an image of Fanny's brain? What is this, like a black cat scan?
Cool it with the witch jokes, Oph.
Ugh, PC culture has gone too far.
What's that white mass on the left?
That's the anomaly. Is it just me, or is that right where Fanny holds her cell telephone to her ear?
I told you those things give you brain tumors.
It's not a tumor. It appears to be some kind of demon egg. The cell telephone has implanted a demon egg into Fanny's brain.
Well, isn't that just the damnedest ventriloquism act you've ever seen?
Actually, no. Remind me to tell you about the evil marionettes I had to battle in '88.
Yeah, you and George Dukakis. Good one.
Jasmine, can you remove it?
Sure. It's not brain surgery, but I need quiet on set. If I'm going to do this, I have to concentrate.
If Fanny's gonna be out for a while, can I have her tab?
Ophelia.
Right, sorry. Twinkle dinkle.
I know where the professor's at.
Wow, there it is.
Amazing.
Scene 2.
Gosh.
A lot there. I love Brittany seeing you react. It's almost, you still react like you're watching it for the first time.
Yeah, it takes me back. Absolutely takes me back.
A lot going on there. Of course, we find the demon egg and Fanny's brain. We've all felt that way, I guess.
Definitely. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I've definitely felt like there was a demon controlling me at some times. Absolutely. I can relate to that. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's how I feel when I'm trying to tell myself to stop snacking on more popcorn. The demon's just making me do it, so I can relate.
Yeah, I often feel like the wolves are controlling me via blackmail and emotional coercion.
Well, they are.
I mean, who's to say? One person's emotional coercion is another person's perfectly healthy relationship. It's sort of what.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. You're right about that.
See, you think that I'm some sort of crazy person, but Brittany is the picture of mental health, and she agrees with all the things I'm saying here. So,
She's the picture of mental health.
The picture.
Okay.
And I saw a picture for the first time in 2016. Actually, fun fact about me.
It took you 3 years to see a picture.
I had other things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw the moving pictures, but you hadn't seen a still picture.
An actual picture. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you may not know this, but when you see a movie, rather, you're actually seeing 24 pictures a second.
It's amazing.
Okay. Sure. Sure, Topher. Sure. Okay.
I know that sounds
I know
like
a lot of people lie to
witchcraft.
me, but I know when I'm the wool's being pulled over my eyes. Absolutely.
Did you say wolf?
No, wool.
Okay, I don't want to hear those
Ooh,
howling, that
ooh,
howling come from your
ooh.
side. No, please stop.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
The owls of a wool.
All right. Well, we don't have a lot of time here, so why don't we jump right into our final clip from this episode? The gang is going to, of course, not me. I'm busy with my bee subplot. At this point in the episode, I'm mostly honey, and there's a bear comes in to try and steal the honey from the bees, and he just says, "Oh, I'll just suck it all off this guy," like one of those.
Yes, I believe that Colby wrote all of these scenes herself.
Oh, definitely, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Even if I can't remember if she wrote this episode, but I know she wrote these scenes. I know that
She wrote the episode, but she wrote those scenes. I remember
they were on
with
the Colby colored
I wrote
paper.
this. Yes.
Yeah. But so a bear comes in and sucks all the honey off me, sort of like a lollipop, or like a like you do with M&M, sometimes a peanut M&M where you just take off the candy shell and you just have the peanut. That's sort of what the bear did to me. You don't do that?
I eat it.
I wasn't allowed candy. So mom was strict. Okay, mom was strict in the bunker. But
what did you guys eat? Chicken or egg mostly?
we would never eat chicken.
Right.
Topher.
Right, of course.
Do you eat wolf for
That's not
breakfast?
funny.
That's
Okay,
that's
that's actually fucked up.
that's how I feel. I think it's fucked up that you would say that.
That's our sponsor.
I know we have a long history of friendship together, but right now you're ticking me off, man. But
okay. All right.
we had eggs, and then we had
Sort of
every once in a
eggshells.
while we'd get a piece of bread that was really fun and good. Yeah. Spiders.
And it was actual bread and not something that like your mom was just making from whatever was in the bunker.
No. Sometimes our captor would come down and give us some bread as a treat, birthday treat piece.
A slice of bread with a candle in it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that actually sounds really fun.
It's so sweet.
Nice.
It's fun to relive childhood memories sometimes.
That's more than I've had, that's more than anyone's done for me in my past 12, 13 birthdays. So that sounds kind of nice to me actually. But
it was nice.
Neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and jump into this episode where Miss Thickness, Jasmine, Ophelia, and Fanny go to confront the professor about how he's been putting demon eggs in everyone's heads from the cell phones. Scene 3, or the final scene from this episode. Big cliffhanger at the end. Spoiler alert, here it comes.
So this is the cell telephone shop where your mom got that demon egg phone from?
Has to be. It's not like there's a phone store on every corner of Chicago.
I'm sorry, we're closed. Miss Falls, Miss Thickness, and you've brought new friends. Nice to meet you girls. You must be Ophelia and Jasmine. Quite a lot of power you've added to your little group, gym teacher.
Damn skippity.
Miss T, how does he know who we are?
Oh, my dear girls, don't waste your time trying to figure out how I know things. I predate you. I'm your predator and your predator. How about that? Words are fun, aren't they, girls?
Quit calling them girls, creep.
My apologies. I guess when you're as old as me, everyone just seems young.
Yeah, I heard you've been around for a long time. You cursed my boyfriend.
Can you be more specific, my dear? I've cursed a lot of people's boyfriends.
And you sold my mother a demon phone.
I will, of course, offer a complete refund if you return the phone with its original receipt within 14 days.
How many other people have demon eggs in their heads, Professor?
I wouldn't worry about that, gym teacher. Soon it will be a moot point. By time we're done talking here, my babies will be born and overtaking the greater Chicagoland area.
Uh-huh. And just out of curiosity, what's behind the big red door you're trying desperately to block with your body?
That's for employees only.
I'll fax you my references. It's great to be on the team. Yeah! He's not really here. I think it's a hologram.
No, he's live. I can sense that this is some kind of mystical projection, but there's some kind of twist? Psionic?
Electronic. I was able to do some basic astral magic on a Canon XL1 digital video camera. Its easy to use point and shoot settings made it surprisingly simple. All the same, it'd still be the cat's whiskers if you would just leave now and not go in that door. Well, this is disappointing.
It's the Queen Demon, Fanny. It must be her eggs the professor's been implanting through the phones. If you kill her... Oh, okay, good. You are on top of it. We're of the same mind.
Boffo, Demon Hunter, you've averted my plan. All the demon eggs will be rendered inert. But if you think this is all I have up my sleeve, if you think I've spent centuries building my power to be thwarted by the likes of the Babysitters Club, then you really haven't done your research.
We've actually done an annoying amount of research. Do you think you could just tell us some stuff while we're here? Save us some time?
You know what? I do love offering a good deal. Here's your freebie. You're not the only one who recognizes strength in numbers. You didn't think I was working alone, did you? In fact, I think you may recognize one of my generals. Asmodeus, will you join me in front of the Canon XL1 digital video camera?
Hi. Listen, Asmodeus, is it? You seem like a really nice demon, but I don't think we know each other. I'm pretty sure I'd remember the tufts of fur, the red skin, the horns, the cloven feet, the evil demon eyes. Wait, were we in show choir together?
I wasn't talking to you, Miss Falls.
Hello, Misty.
Who's Misty?
I am. He's my ex.
Miss T dated a demon?
Miss T's ex is working with the professor?
Miss T's first name is Misty?
Wow.
Holy shit.
A lot to unpack there. Big cliffhanger. We learn about Miss Thickness's demon former lover, Asmodeus. We'll
and
get
then
more
her
into
name is
him.
Misty. I mean, don't
Then
forget
her-
about that.
Her first name is Misty.
Wow.
We have sort of our first example of some product placement with that Canon XL1 digital video camera.
Yes.
A lot of money was exchanged hands for us to feature that so prominently.
And it was amazing, to have such a product to place.
Yeah, and those things were so convenient. You would record onto a little tape that was about this big, about the size of a cassette. Not a VHS cassette, but an audio cassette.
Yes.
And it was always so easy to play them later, and find a way to play them
And find new ones.
and
too,
yeah,
out of tape.
yeah, so easy to replenish your stock of them.
That's so convenient for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do want to say, I think Guillaume, who plays the professor, I do think his British accent is much different than it was in episode 2. I guess the eagle-eyed listeners can.
Yes, no, I mean, I've never noticed a change in his voice because his voice is always so alluring. It's hypnotizing even.
Mm-hmm.
You've never noticed a lot of people's changes in accents.
No, never have in my life.
For me, after watching it so much, it's just like it just becomes background. What's wrong is right, and what's right you never notice is wrong.
So true.
Yeah, again, you were doing some big gasps at the reveals there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still surprise you? The show is still able to surprise you after all these views?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. It's like every time I rewatch Fanny Falls, it's like something new comes up, something new that you never expected. And that's kind of the fun of the show.
Okay, and your captor, I guess I didn't ask this, but he gave you the show, or it was just sort of what was on the TV?
No, he gave us the show to watch, and he was kind of his only thing to only watch that show and no other show.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very pleased that you love it so much.
Mhm.
Because one could turn their back on something like this.
Okay, I mean, I may be going crazy, but I watched the show. I need you guys to know that I've watched it. A lot.
You did call it Frankie Falls a second ago.
Sorry, I misspoke, but
Earlier, you seemed to be reading my B plot off Wikipedia.
Well, maybe because it was something that I don't. You forget a lot when you're locked in a bunker, and that maybe.
Are you trying to get your own platform? I think she might be lying.
And just trying.
Why would I lie? Why would I lie about being the #1 fan of a show that ran for 13 episodes? Why would I lie about that?
So you could get on our podcast with a dozen listeners and hope that maybe one of our agents or someone in Hollywood will give you your own lifetime original movie to make about your life in a bunker, which I don't anymore believe is real.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Big accusation.
You know what, Letty? And I thought we were friends. And I
We're
thought
friends if you're honest.
I'll be
me,
honest.
I'm honest every day of my life.
I'll be honest. I was trapped. My captor trapped me.
And
he made me watch. He made me watch. Maybe not this show, but he did make me watch.
Wait, what?
Lots of shows.
What?
Hold on a second.
My captor, Cairo Alexander.
No.
He locked me in a basement. And
You are lying.
he's the one that told me to come on this podcast today. Okay, I didn't really write an essay. I can't read. I also can't write. So yeah, he was the one to tell me to come on this podcast today. Sorry, Topher.
Lying, sniveling little
I would never.
you little two-faced troll.
Cairo, it's true, and I'm here to warn you. I'm here to tell you. He trapped me in a basement for years. I didn't watch Fanny Falls. I watched One Tree Hill, and that's my real super fan. But he couldn't get me on that podcast, so he put me on this podcast.
Why in the world would he put you on this show? First of all, I doubt he even had a basement. So
he had a basement, and I was trapped in it.
He had a basement, did he?
From 1997 until 2013.
Of course, we know he was living in a guest house at the time because he was part of the guest house crew. We learned that in the last episode. But so it's probably one of those guest house basements. So you're still doing favors for him?
Yes, I am. Because it's an interesting thing. That's capture and a trapped person relationship. He didn't mean it a lot of the time. And I remember I said I got some bread, so he was good to us. And he came to me and he said, you need to help. You need to help, and you need to, because no one signed up for this podcast, this superfan meet and greet podcast event. So you need to do it. And I said, sure. I'm just telling you what he's told me. He said, sure. And that's the only reason that I was let out of the bunker, because he knew one day there'd be a podcast and that no one would sign up for this.
Yeah,
I refuse to believe this, and I'm going to actually stand by my man and not believe women.
Interesting. That's really interesting. Okay. Well, if I didn't know Cairo Alexander, how would I know? How would I know that his eyes are blue?
Because
how would I know
you've
that?
seen a picture of him on the internet.
I've never seen a picture until 2016. I wouldn't know.
I don't believe that is real either.
Brittany, I want to say I do believe. I believe everything you're saying. That I do believe also that he wasn't able to get you on Pod Tree Hill, the One Tree Hill podcast, because that is a tough ticket to go on.
What I wouldn't give.
Yeah.
To talk some Nathan Haley relationship.
But like also I want to say how messed up it is that you're still sort of doing favors for him and working with him in this way. But I got stung by 17 bees on this episode, cost me $1,700. And then I still came to work next week for Colby. So I guess I get it, girl, is what I'm saying. You know, I guess girl, what I'm saying is girl. What?
You're trying to relate by going, girl, like, no, I get it.
I don't think so. Listen, Queen, I think that we have all...
and God rest the Queen.
And God rest the Queen and the Queen bee who did die after she embedded her stinger deep. Here, you guys can see that stinger is still there.
Wow.
Yeah. Deep. On me from this episode, from filming this episode. That's a 25-year-old stinger right there. It's like listen to the Police album Synchronicity. It's got a 25-year-old sting. You know what I mean? Letty, this is a wild
all I'm saying is talk to your husband and check your basement, because there probably is another chicken down there somewhere.
I'm not going to do either of those things, because I live in a chateau. And I don't have a basement. I have a cellar. So, okay.
Okay. And then
do you ever go down there?
Do you ever hear random clucking noises in the middle of the night? That's you say, hey, there's a chicken here. Hey, there's a loose. Hey, where'd that chicken noise come from? I don't have a chicken. Ask yourself that.
Well, it's an old house.
Yeah.
It's unsettling.
Do you ever your ocelot comes up and he's got feathers all around his mouth and stuff?
Well, he eats all kinds of birds on the property. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
But
this is slander, and you will be hearing from our lawyer. We're not going to release this episode over my dead body.
We'll see what my agent Sam Wolfman has to say about it, and I'll talk to my lawyer too, Ronnie Wolfenberg.
I'll talk to my lawyer too. Kyra
you can't have this. You don't have a lawyer.
Kyra is also your lawyer?
He's everything to me.
I didn't even know he had a JD. Wow. Okay.
He doesn't. This is all lies and slanders from this sniveling little screw job who's come onto this and she's just saying all these things, and it's all fakery.
Wow.
It's all fakery, because I know he wouldn't do this. He wouldn't jeopardize his career. He might direct a Marvel film next.
Letty, I'm just here to warn you. I'm here to warn you. I'm here to tell you.
And I'm here to warn you that you better not say anything about my man, or I will blackmail the shit out of you.
You know what? We're gonna wrap up here, and let me just read what I had written here.
Yeah, we have to wrap up, because I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah. We were gonna have our question of the week from Twitter, but I figured, since we had our biggest fan on the episode already asking us questions. Oh God, this is embarrassing to read now. Yeah, this is what the wolves told me it said, but we would skip the Twitter question of the week. So I guess let's just wrap up. And of course, we're not going to release this, Letty. Don't worry. But do you have anything you want to plug, Brittany?
Yeah, I actually would love to.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, have your little
It's so emotional. I'm so sorry. I'm crying.
Have your
we're all having a lot of emotions right
I'd
now.
love to plug my podcast.
Yeah, what's it? Oh, you have a podcast.
I do have a podcast. Yeah, it's called Trapped in the Closet, and it's me and various farm animals, and I lock them in a closet, and we just kind of talk about our lives together. And it's streaming on all platforms.
Okay.
Really great, really good.
Now that sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, because
It's really fun.
I believe in the symbiotic relationship between man and beast, you know.
Mhm.
So
absolutely.
so yeah,
I'd love to have the wolves on sometimes if they're interested.
Yeah, talk to my agent, Sam Wolfman.
I will. Absolutely.
He
Thank
represents
you.
all the wolves.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me. It's so fun.
Letty, anything you want to mention before we get out?
Quit the podcast because this is upsetting to me on every level. And you will be hearing from my lawyer, both of you. And if I do return to this podcast, it is under extreme duress and desperation to be heard. Which that won't happen. And I can guarantee you that won't happen.
Okay. All right.
Because I have been heard and I am famous.
Yeah, no one is arguing that here, Letty. No one except the celebrities you often run into at parties argues that you're famous.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Well, Brittany, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for ruining our lives.
Thank you.
No, I mean my
Yes.
life is fine, but
Not when
Letty,
I quit this podcast, it won't be.
I hope that you get this all sorted out by next week.
I don't know if I ever-
Big episode next week. We're going to be talking about episode 7, which was our mid-season finale. Thick of the plot. We met Miss Thickness's demon ex-lover at the end of that episode. We're going to find out the full story about that in the Miss
I
Thickness
don't care about finding out full stories anymore. I never want to find out a full story again in my life. You know what? I'm leaving. I'm disconnecting my headphones.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, and she's gone. Okay. Well, we're going to be listening to episode 7, Thick of the Plot, next week on the episode. And until then, keep Fanny, keep Fall, keep Demon, keep it Hunter. We'll talk to you next time on the podcast. What's up, Fanny Pack? It's Andy Fleming here. First off, start calling yourself the Fanny Pack if you're the fan community of Fanny Falls Demon Hunter, the podcast. And second of all, thank you for listening. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dumbfun and give us a rate, review on iTunes. That stuff really helps out for a new podcast. I want to give it up to our cast for this episode. We have Mandy McKelvey as Thora Ann Green as Fanny Falls, Sarah Shockey as Brett Fulkerson as Misty Thickness, Jessica Mance as Nut Ella as Jasmine Feinberg, Hobart Thompson as Guillaume Nova Scotia as the Professor, my incredible co-host Stephanie Weber as Letty Lamora as Ophelia Orkin, and little old me, Andy Fleming as Topher Jason as Charles Blocker. Our guest was Deanna Ortiz as Brittany Boxleitner. So funny. If you ever get a chance to see Deanna live, she is one of this nation's great stand-up comedians, and I can't recommend it enough. Check out the other shows on the network, Musical, the Movie, the Podcast, and 30 Characters, and keep it Hunter.
Fun, dumb.